Okay. Oh. Okay. Trying intros now. Proper intros. I know I said proper before, but this is just me. There's no one sitting across from me. So bear with me. It is kind of weird just talking to a camera. I don't know how everyone else does it. At least anyway, good one today. Anna Banana. Her last name is Banana. She showed me her birth certificate. It's there. Anna, then Banana. She's an artist, which I'm very excited about. Collages, acrylic pour. She brought some stuff. So if you're not watching, you're missing out. Also, if you are watching, I have some notes from the producer. A little upset. Let me just. This is what he told me. Some technical issues with the cameras again. Yes, I know. Trying to fix them. Had to fire the producer. Hired a new guy. That guy kind of also sucks. But GoPro went out again. The camera went out again in the beginning for like 5 minutes, and then again for like the last 30 minutes. She's there. She exists. She's a real person. But if you're just listening, it's kind of a benefit because you don't have to deal with that. So yeah, let's just get into it. Are we gonna keep doing these? Are we gonna keep doing intros? Maybe. Kind of cool if I just get used to it. Anna.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
You make art.
I do.
And I asked you to bring some if you wanted to or not.
Yes.
But I was looking through your Instagram and I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, I didn't know, like, okay, so you would call this like collaging, right? Or what would you call it?
So I do like two things. Like I paint them, and that's like acrylic pour, and then I collage on top of them. So like some of like this one I have. That's
Can
like,
I touch it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
That one's just painted, and so that's just the acrylic pour.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like that part. That one's just like real easy and fun, and just like.
I was explaining how like I I just put some paint on the canvases and I just slapped them together. So, but how do you make it look really nice like this? How do you make it look like cells?
Yeah,
it looks so wild.
Yeah, so like that one, yeah, show everybody.
Yeah, if you're listening, I apologize, but you're really missing out.
So like with that one, I put like basically like lines of paint, and the paint that I use is like really liquidy. Like it's not like you would use a paintbrush on it.
Yeah.
And I do like lines of paint, and then I take like a paper towel or a piece of paper, and I just like drag the white paint across, and so that's what makes this like spread.
What the hell?
That's
so cool.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's super fun, and like I don't know, I really like it because I feel like I could never like paint how like classic artists
like
do like the
mural portrait or something.
Yeah, like I
guess a mural could be anything.
I'm no figure drawer or anything like that, but I know my colors pretty well. Oh no. Was it not on?
I apologize. It wasn't recording you.
That's okay.
But you see her now. She's here. She's here.
I'm here. Okay. But yeah, that's kind of how I do the painting. It's just like
That's how you do like all of them, but the majority of them.
Pretty much. Like some of them are different. Like this one, like now that the camera's on, you can like.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, it's you. It's all right.
But that one is like I put all the paint in like a cup, and then I just like do like some swirly action, and that kind of creates that pattern. So there's like different techniques for different looks and stuff.
Yeah.
And then like this one, they're like old record sleeves that I like repurpose. But like this one is just like I just dump paint and then I spread it around.
Yeah. Okay. So okay. All right. So it's like it's got to be watery to make it look like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's super like I thin it out a ton. Like I add a bunch of water to it, and I mean that's like the reason I use like acrylic paint too, is because it's water soluble paint. So.
Mm-hmm. I like looking at like more like abstract art because I feel like I could just stare at it for like I could just look at it a lot longer.
Same. Also, I find that most people, anytime they, especially when like I'm like, oh, what do you see in here? Everyone sees something different.
Yes,
and so it's like so fun to be like, you saw a face? How? Yeah, I really like it because there's always something different. And like even for myself, I'll be like, I've looked at this piece for hours. Like I have to know like everything that could be seen in this. And then someone's like, look at this weird little bit right here, and I'm like, oh.
It's like a crossword puzzle, is that what it's called? Or like where you like a word search, but then like you find a word that's not even a part of the word search.
I love that. That's always so fun. Yeah.
So like would it be so okay, so like obviously these I would so do these have subjects or like, because usually you would title like a piece of work, but is it just like, is it supposed to be that title of work, that what it's supposed to represent, or is it just like whatever, like your interpretation, like we were just talking about?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, there are titles for some of my work. A lot more intention, I guess, goes into like the collaging. So like I never really start painting with any kind of like idea of what I want, or like, oh, I want it to like feel like this. Like that's never really happening while I'm painting. So it's very unintentional painting, which I kind of like, because then it's always like, ooh, this happened and it's probably never going to happen again. This is like kind of one of a kind kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's really fun. But then the collage is very like intentional, because I'm obviously I'm like cutting every single thing out, and and I do it all by hand too. So like, I don't know, I feel like I think about it a lot more. But then sometimes they're just like fun. Like this one was just like, oh, this is really fun, like picture.
Yeah, it is.
So of course I want to just like use that. That's great. But then like this one, like this was a lot more like thoughtful, I guess. And like, I don't know, I had to like source material from different magazines and stuff. So
yeah, it feels like it goes a little bit, there's like a red background and you have like red roses, but I can't tell. Is that the same person, or is it just a person that they both got bangs?
No, it's the same. It's the same person. So this was like a Japanese like fashion magazine, and she was just like a model for a Skechers ad, or Nike, the shoes. The shoes. It was an ad for the shoes, but obviously it's not about the shoes anymore.
She's got nice shoes, but not anymore. Not like, if you pointed that out.
Great shoes, but
check it out. So you sell some of this stuff. Do you ever like reprint it, or everything's just one of a kind?
No, I do have prints of stuff, because like something like this, like it's hard for me to get rid of. I really like this piece, so like I hold on to the originals because I really like them. But obviously I really love when people also love my art, so I want to share my art, so I make a bunch of prints of stuff. Not everything though. Like there's some stuff that I kind of regret not making a print of because the original is gone, and I'm
so
like,
you don't have any more of that one.
Yeah,
piece.
so it's like, all right, that's kind of like gone forever. I mean, not gone forever. Obviously, someone has it, but I'm like, okay, this is not mine anymore. Which like, I don't know. That kind of goes into like how I price things and stuff like that. Where it's like, I like this a lot. I'm gonna make it kind of an unreasonable price so that hopefully I can like hold on to it longer, which is probably not a good like business strategy, but
it's a strategy though.
I'm not in it for the business. I'm in it for the love of the art. So
it's fun to see, because you said like it's never to be seen again, but like sometimes like a famous artist, sometimes their work will end up in like a storage unit, and then it ends up getting sold on like just an auction, and then they're like, yeah, I just have this piece of art, and then finally like maybe some sort of art buff goes to their house, sees it, and they're like, do you know how much that costs, or do you know how rare that is? Do you know how long people have been looking for that?
Right. Like, yeah. I watched this movie on Van Gogh recently, and it was like basically this lady just had all of these sketches just like in a cellar or something, like because Van Gogh just like gifted them to her, and then she just like was like, cool, crazy guy, thanks for the drawings, I'm gonna put these
like
away.
Van Gogh's friend.
Yeah,
dude, that'd be so cool.
And then it wasn't like till like I want to say like almost 100 years later or something, like that people were like, these sketches, they've just existed. What the, like, how have we not found these yet? And so it's like, maybe that could be me. Just gonna put it out there, manifest that I'm gonna be the next like Van Gogh.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. Like anybody can make some like piece of art, but it's like okay, like the NFT thing, right? It's a I don't know. I still don't know how to box it in. I don't if it's even in a box. I don't know, but like like
complicated emotions around
exactly.
NFTs.
I have mixed feelings about them. Like this is something tangible. I could touch it. If you want to punch a hole through it, you can.
Yeah, you could destroy it if you wanted to.
I wouldn't.
Not that you couldn't do that, I guess, with NFTs. I don't know. Maybe is that kind of like the thing? Is that they'll exist forever on the internet?
I guess.
I don't know. I think that's like kind of one of the important things that I like find in art. Like, granted, music, that's an art form. You can't really like hold
Destroy
on to it and like be like, this is the. I mean, I guess there are some like single pressings of stuff that it's like, this is the only thing that exists of it. But
yeah.
it just makes me think like, oh, I don't know. It's gonna get to a point where it's like, no art is physical anymore. That would be strange, because like music, you can just like download it on Spotify or whatever, and maybe art's gonna be the same way, where you're just like, you know what, I really want to look at this piece today. I'm just gonna like get that off my Spotify art account or whatever.
Like I think they're making, right, like TVs, you know, just in like hotels or something, and like I have you know, a list of NFTs that I bought over the past 10 years. You know, I think I'm just gonna make it like if this sound panel was just an empty canvas that was actually a screen, like let me throw up my art that I own on it just because I can. But like you still own it, but like I don't know, you go somewhere and you're like, oh, let me throw up my art, let me show you. But that's the weird thing, like let me show you my NFTs, let me scroll through, like that's I don't know, because when, you know, like the person has the Van Gogh sketchings and someone would be like, no, the oil's on your fingers, or like this or that is gonna destroy it. Like, I don't know, can you get oils in on an NFT?
You get a computer virus? I don't know.
So this something more tangible like this, it feels like it could actually lose its value, and you don't want that to happen. It feels more precious, I guess. Yeah,
I mean, there is that aspect. There's a piece I made not too long ago that was made up of so like I paint record sleeves, but I also paint the records. And one of the records just got like smashed to bits, and I was devastated. But then I was like, you know what, I'll just like collage that on top of something and it'll look great. So the record is now like collaged onto a canvas that's also painted. So there's like these two different like paintings working together. It looks really fun. But that's kind of like the thing that I was like, this piece is gone forever, and I just have to like get over it and reincorporate into another piece, I guess.
Yeah, I think of it like you can like, music is like that could only exist online, but you know, you could also have a live show like that. You can't take that away. Like a live show, like people, I don't know, that resonates with people a lot more than like I'd rather hear their live versions in person, or just listen to it like online, like their live versions rather than just hear the record, like the studio version.
Right. I mean, the future of galleries is just going to be a bunch of screens with NFTs on them.
Ew.
You can just walk in and it's just like, boom, big giant, like almost like like sports bar type TVs. That's what I'm imagining. And you're just like walking through, it's just like boom, NFT.
That feels weird. Like I don't know. It doesn't give me the heebie-jeebies. I think that's what's called. Yeah. But I don't know. But yeah, no, I don't think it's all gonna be like online. I don't know. Is there like art galleries where it's just like actual pieces but just online? Obviously people made them, but it's not like all digital art.
I mean, during the pandemic, I feel like that was like kind of happening where there were like virtual shows and stuff. But I mean, I think that was only because of those circumstances.
Only for
like,
a second.
Yeah, people really want to be out and about. And I think like, I don't know, it's like, I feel like when I look at this piece of art, like, and physically can like get closer to it and stuff like that, that feels more like I can, you know, get the details. I don't know if I could do that if I'm just looking at a screen. Like, I guess I could like
to zoom in.
zoom
like,
in.
I could really feel and see the textures.
Yeah.
And some people, that's what they strive for. Like, they want to, like, I want to see the bumps on it. Like, that's their intention when making it.
I love when there's texture on paintings. Like, sometimes I'll do that too, where I'll make like, I'll do like one layer and it's pretty like smooth and flat, and then I'll do like another layer on top, so there's like this kind of like hill of paint. It's really fun. I really like that look. I think it's it gives it like 3 dimensions.
Yeah. It was funny because, well, we're talking a little bit about like music, how you could just keep repressing it, but like Wu-Tang, they had an album. And they made it one of a kind album. They sold it, they auctioned it off to somebody, and I think what happened was that person went to prison. So now, I don't know the full story, but
is it lost forever?
It's lost. I think the government technically owns it.
Oh no.
Owns an entire like Wu-Tang album, and everybody's like, whoa.
That seems like
That's
a
like
weird thing for the government to own. I'm surprised they're not trying to like resell it or maybe like give it back to the
exactly.
artist.
It's like that's an entire piece of artwork that's never going to be seen. It could have been gold. It could have been the best album or worst.
We'd
never know. Exactly. What if the government just like, we're gonna you know, if the artist dies, we're gonna just take their art.
That's crazy. I mean, maybe it's like Wu-Tang's album is in like Area 51 and the aliens can listen to it. We'll never know, but the universe can know.
There probably are people that have listened to it.
Yeah, absolutely. There are agents out there, federal agents, who have been like, I've listened to that secret.
There's people that will have like a live art show, like, just come watch me do my art.
Yeah.
Which I feel is kind of like a bit of a pressure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, there are times when I do pours and they don't turn out well, and like, I'm frustrated. I don't want other people to see me frustrated. You know, I want them to just go like, ooh, that's so pretty, and I'm like, great, you didn't have to see me get like mad while I was making this. Awesome.
Yeah, it feels like you're like in the fish in the tank and people are like, come on, do something. Like, I haven't gotten inspiration yet, relax, like, let me.
Yeah, this type of art isn't like a performance, but I guess, you know, if you're skilled at it, you could make it a performance. I feel like I would just get too nervous. Like, I would be like, I want this to look really good, and if it doesn't, I don't know. Not that they don't like usually turn out well. The pouring part is fairly like good most of the time. It's just like, make sure they're good colors, you know? Like, you just got to think of a good color scheme.
Do you have a lot of pieces that never just made it out to the public? That you just like, this is terrible, like you've just been frustrated with, like you said?
Yeah, definitely. Especially like collages. Sometimes there is stuff that I've like made where I've just been like, what was I thinking? Or like I'll like look back at some of my art like when I first started like collaging and stuff, and I'll just be like, I don't know, I why I was like on this train of thought, but it was not going the way that I wanted. So yeah, there's definitely stuff that people have never seen, and probably stuff that like I've like just been silly and like thrown away or something like that, you know? Like I try not to throw stuff away because I think like even the bad stuff I could probably like repurpose.
Yeah.
But there's probably been times where I've just been like, chuck it, it's not worth it.
How long have you been doing this?
Probably I'm gonna say like 3 or 4 years now. Probably like I w- 4 years. Because I started in college, like was taking classes, and one of my classes was on surrealism, and I got really into that, and like collage was like a big thing. So I was like, I love this. I also want to do that, and so then I just did.
I didn't know how big like collaging was, because I mean, I guess when I first like kind of thought about it, I'm like, well, it's just like scrapbooking. Like scrapbooking is like there's a picture and like, and then you like put some like text over it, like
Yeah,
but
well,
it's not the
I mean,
same is what I'm trying to
That's
say.
the thing, yeah. It's like scrapbooks are just like here's a picture. Like there's no like there's no trying to be. Well, I guess maybe there are people who are like scrapbooking, looking to make like a cohesive image, but like I feel like for the most part, like collage, you're trying to like create an image, and like scrapbooking, you're just trying to like display photos, right? And like be like
Yeah.
cherish memories and stuff like that. And it's like just like decorating a page, and I feel like collage is a little bit different.
Yeah,
with
more
that.
like a memories thing. Unless you're like a really good photographer. If you're a scrapbooker, I want to see some like badass scrapbooking. Like I've never seen it. I want to
change our minds. Yeah, show me your scrapbooks. I mean, maybe there is like I should go into like studying scrapbook art, because like maybe that would help me with my collage stuff. Because I do think there are some cute like scrapbook, like you ever see like the tape and stuff, where there'll be like little like decorative tape.
Oh, I'm thinking of the from Up, the movie.
Yeah.
Where they're like Our Adventures or something like that.
Yeah, and like people will like, but they'll do like they'll be like little like printed tape. Well, there'll be like cute little like teddy bears on it, or it'll be like patchwork or like whatever, and they'll just use like these really cute little tapes, and I feel like that would be something I'd want to try, like making like a border out of like funky tape.
It's an avenue. Would you like, so like other than that, like would you want to like keep like changing up like what you do, your artwork, or is this like
Acrylic pour and collage. I think they're kind of my thing. I mean, at the moment, who's to say? Maybe in the future I'll switch it up, but I've been doing this for so long now, and I feel like every time it just like, progressively getting better, and like finding like my more like unique voice, because like when I first started, I wasn't really sure like what I wanted to say or like make really, and then I started collecting a bunch of Playboy magazines. And
is that that came from?
Yeah, and that's what like this one's from and stuff like that. And so like I was getting these magazines, and I was like, wow, this like I could make like some really pretty kind of like slightly erotic but like really like cute like celebrations of women and femininity. And so like that's like kind of where I started to like really find my like niche, and like
it's funny because you said like looking for something to say, like you feel like you're speaking through your artwork.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, it's definitely like I don't know, it's just whatever's in my brain, right? So I feel like it's sort of my voice, and like I don't know, I strive for like when people look at my art that they could be like, oh yeah, that's Anna, like that's their stuff. And I think I'm kind of like getting there. I feel like even though I'm not like a big artist by any means, I feel like there are people who I know who have been like, oh, I saw your art here and I knew it was yours, and like yada yada, and I'm just like, okay,
yeah,
cool.
so like
having
a unique and recognizable style.
Yeah. I just want it to be like my perspective, like 100%, I guess. And like I feel like I'm getting closer and closer to that, where it's like, oh yeah, these are very much like my specific style. So that's really cool. I don't know, I like it.
So then when you try something new, is that like well, I think trying something new, a lot of it is you know, you just have to go off of something you've maybe seen before, and then over time make it your own.
Yeah, well, so the way I started with doing the like Playboy thing was actually one of my favorite artists on Instagram, Sarah Barnfart. Go out and look for
Should I
her.
pull it up?
Yeah, she's really cool. And
Loud Windows noise.
she makes really cool art. Sarah Barnfart. Like her name is Sarah Barnhart, but wait, go back.
Oh, right there?
No. Go back and do fart. F-A-R-T.
Barn.
Oh, right there. She's right there. Yeah, that's the one.
Hey.
Yeah, so like her art was very inspiring for me. Like I love yes. Yeah, see, like super cool. She I'm pretty sure just draws everything. Like she does like pencil and like marker and then like collages on top of that. And all of her stuff was like, I was just like, oh my god, this is the coolest stuff I've ever seen. It's so rad.
Yeah, this is cool.
Right? I just like me, also me. But yeah.
I didn't even see that.
It's just so good. Like she has an unbelievable sense of humor and just like a really good eye.
And this is her.
Yeah, that's her. She's so cool. And
So you take a lot of inspiration from her.
yeah, so like when I first started doing stuff, I was so inspired by her art. I was just like, oh my god, this is what I want to do. I want to do something like this where it's kind of like.
Do you know her? You met her?
No.
Oh.
No, I don't. I wish I did. I actually traded some art with her like years ago. I just like, you know, internet friend was like, hey, do you want to trade some stuff? I think you're really cool. And they were like, yeah, I think you're really cool.
That's nice.
Yeah,
that's
and
so cool.
so I swapped some stuff with her, and that was really fun. And like I feel like I do that a lot. Like if there's any artists that I really like, I'm just like trade, please.
Yeah, that's so cool. I don't know. I like the community that just makes you feel good.
Oh yeah. Definitely the like community aspect. It makes me feel so like part of it, where I'm just like, oh yeah, we're like kind of having these like conversations through art. Like especially like I feel like with her, like everything that she makes kind of has like some like notes of like seriousness, but also like very playful, very like fun and campy. And so like I kind of feel like some of my art is that way too. And yeah, it's just some good stuff. Also, she's a huge fan of Twin Peaks, and I don't know if you've seen Twin Peaks or no.
Is that a show? Movie?
It's a show.
It's
a show. There's also a movie.
Wait.
No, that's not Twin Peaks.
Was it on the screen?
Yeah, it was. So that's a picture of the log lady from Twin Peaks. She's the best. So normally she's holding a log, like that's what she's actually
log
holding.
Lady.
Yeah, she's the log lady. But that's another thing that I like really loved about Sarah was I was like, oh, she loves Twin Peaks. I also love that shit.
Is it from the 70s? Like or a set in the 70s?
I wanna say yes. I'm actually not entirely sure what time period Twin Peaks is set in, because like I want to say that it's like the 80s, but maybe even earlier than that. I'm not entirely sure. I feel like I should know that, but yeah. They're amazing show, and their like page obviously, like you can see, has some memes on it, but makes some lovely Twin Peaks memes as well. So
I love the idea, because it's like art for art. Like, no, like you don't have to pay me. Like, we'll just trade artwork.
Yeah.
Which that, yeah, like I said, like I think that specifically makes you feel good.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, and like I don't know. I mean, there's definitely like some artists where I'm like, do you want to trade? And they're like, no, like I can't really afford to do that. And I'm like, understandable. Let's buy some art, because I think like if I didn't do it, like it would feel bad because there are so many people who like buy my art just to support me, and that feels really good. So I'm like, gotta all kind of reciprocate that, support each other kind of thing. So even if I can't like trade, I'll still like buy stuff from people because I think it's just like it's worth it. Like
thinking about like if you lived in a community and everything is only based off art, like you only trade art, that's it, that's the only currency.
Oh my god. I mean, that would like, I guess like you'd have to like determine what's like good and bad art, like what
Oh no,
what has more,
you can't do that,
what has more value in your art community, you know? Like maybe someone paints some like really like weird stuff and they're just like, this is not worth anything. Or they're like
portraits are worth, you know, $1,000, or at least they're worth the most.
Or it's like, oh, you painted this, that's worth your rent this month, which is I wish that was how it worked.
So
because
cool.
Then I would paint a lot more.
Yeah.
If my rent depended on it.
If everything did depend, like on your art or anything you do, or like you make music. Like it does, but like, yeah, in exchange we just take out the middleman, I guess, of money. But then again, we fall back on the problem, like how much is it worth?
Right.
We don't know.
Well, I mean, I guess it's like subjective, or as like art is, where it's just like, okay, I guess this is super valuable to you. To me, it's like worth nothing.
Go take this to another landlord.
Yeah,
shit all
like,
over it.
Or like it's like you go to the grocery store and you're like, oh, I want to get, you know, my groceries for the week. Will this be enough?
Start haggling.
And they're like, no, you need like 3 more pieces. Like that's not enough. And it's like, what about this one? This one worth all my groceries? And they're like, put a frame on it and we'll talk, or something like that.
Yeah. Oh.
Because that's the thing that I think always makes like art look like, ooh,
frame
so much better. It's
nice little border.
Nice little frame on it. Really does a lot.
Yeah. What's the biggest piece you've done? Bigger than this?
Oh,
Smaller?
yeah. No,
Or-
I think I've done one that is like, I want to say about the size of this table. Maybe like from that end to like here-ish. Because I think that's like probably about like 3-4 feet. I think that's about as long
as
as
this table.
I don't know. I would guess like 6 feet.
6
This,
feet?
like, little crack.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah.
Just lay sideways, see what it looks like. I'm not 6 feet, but
Measure it with your body.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably something around that size. And then I've also done like a couple pieces of like furniture, which is like kind of tough because
like acrylic pour on furniture.
Yeah. So like I painted like the dining room table at my house. I painted that, and then I also painted like there's like a side table, and then there's this really cool tattoo artist named Magsy, art by Magsy. I'll just shout her out.
Pull it up
if you want
Instagram.
to. Yeah. I think it just says, I think it's just art by Magsy, but and maybe she'll have a picture of my table on there. I don't know.
Ooh.
But
By MAG.
MAGSY.
Oh no.
Oh no, she not. Maybe I don't actually know what her handle is.
So she does that as well, like the furniture, like.
No, so she's just a tattoo artist, and she's really cool. Art of Maxie, not by. Art of. But I did like basically the table that she does a lot of her like. Yes.
Tattooist.
Yes. Really cool artist, but I painted like a table for her. So, and I think I've also like given her like a piece that she has on.
Ooh, an eye. That's cool.
She's super talented. I really love her art.
Oh yes. This one looks really detailed.
Right? Like, just so good. And
Can we scroll through?
I wonder if the table will pop up anywhere.
Come on, table.
Here we go, table. Oh yeah, she
did that.
Yeah, she paints stuff too. So see, like, I could never paint anything like this, and I think that that's amazing. But I just don't have the skill or maybe the patience, because I probably could learn how to do something like that. But it's just amazing.
Yeah, I think about that. Like, if I dedicated the rest of my life to like
right?
just realistic faces, like
Like
I'd have to get close to that.
right? Like I have to get sort of good eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
But yeah, painted a table for her. She has in her like tattoo studio. And it's really fun. It was like a little like half moon thing, so it like connects to the wall, and then there's like this little like half moon bit that comes out.
Got the end.
No table. Dang it.
Come on, Magsy. You want to see the table?
Put a table on there. So I've done like a few pieces of furniture, and those are probably like the biggest things I've ever done.
That's really hard to do.
Yeah. Well, and it's like I'm lucky enough that like the place that I live is pretty big, and like I've basically turned like not half the living room, but like a good chunk of the living room into like a studio space. So I have like a lot of space to work with, which is really nice. And also all my roommates are very sweet in that they don't get mad that I'm also taking up a ton of space.
Do you ever like accidentally just get paint on stuff you're not supposed to? Like their stuff, or like
oh my god, no. I would be so upset. There have been times where I've like I have like not been fully aware of like what I'm wearing while I'm painting. So I'll like have like a friend's sweater on.
Oh.
And then I'll be like painting, and then I'll be like, no. And I have to like really try my best to like get the paint out. Yeah. Acrylic is luckily fairly easy to like wash out if you like get it right away. But as soon as it dries, that's
screwed.
it. That's it. You've now just got a painted sweater or whatever.
I remember I think I put it like a sheet down. We were painting in my room. My friend was just like, I'm just gonna paint right on the sheet. I was like, okay. And then like it went through the sheet and then got into the carpet, and I was like, it was like a big red splotch of paint. And like we're just in there for about like an hour or two, and like we're just like, yeah, it looks good. I took it off like, oh no.
It's not good. It's not good, you guys. Do you still have like a red stain?
It looked like someone probably like bled, and I think that's the story.
So you got a murder scene going on in your bedroom.
Yeah. So like the furniture, like, so when you do something like this, is it like all like one pour and then that's it? And then so then the furniture, would it be like is it like all one pour, or like you have to do like multiple sides? Like how does that work?
So it depends on like what I'm painting. For the most part, I usually just do like the top, right? So like I just have to have this like flat surface that I paint on, and like for every single one it's been like a tabletop, so it's been like fairly easy. Most of the time it's just like get a ton of paint on there, kind of be done in one go. There are times where I've done like layers of stuff because I've wanted like different kind of like effects going on, so it just kind of depends on what look I'm going for. But for the most part it's just like one go. You pour the paint, you get it out there, and like hopefully it looks good, because that's basically what you get. I have seen some people, because like acrylic pour videos are really popular on just like the internet in general. So I've seen some videos where people have like done the pour, looked at it, been like, hate it, just like poured something right on top of it, and been like, I don't know, I couldn't do it, because I just feel like I'm like, oh my god, that's so much paint. Like I hate to waste paint.
Well, if you're doing like furniture and then you're like, I'm gonna sell it, like you're gonna go get another table, like you're gonna have to make it work.
Right. Yeah, I guess that's true.
That's tough.
Like when I did the table for Magsy, like she basically brought me just like a piece of wood and was like, we cut this piece of wood out, this is the one you got, good luck. And I'm like, all right. And luckily for me, she just was like, these are the colors I like do whatever you want. So like luckily there was no kind of like, I want it to look kind of like this, or like this is what I'm going for. So that made it a lot easier, because I could just kind of like do whatever I needed to kind of get the look I desired. But yeah, if she didn't like it, I would have been like, well, it's the only piece we got. So
I mean, I don't know.
gotta
Maybe
make it work.
just flip it over. Like,
Right? Yeah. Flip it over. We'll paint on the other side. It'll be fine.
see if it's good.
Yeah.
Would you actually do that? Like sell sell tables or anything like that?
I would love to. I was actually talking to my friend because he makes like very casually. He just makes furniture. Like that's just like a hobby.
Casual, just furniture maker.
We gotta have hobbies, you know,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's his. And so I was like, oh, you build a table, I'll paint the table.
Ooh, little collab.
Yeah, we
Ooh,
can
okay.
collab, and then we can get this furniture out there. Because he makes like some fun stuff. Like I guess it's all like, kind of like, what, like modern, very like very like, like thin straight lines with like these like cool like metal bar work,
Like industrial stuff.
Yeah, industrial.
Oh.
Very, very fun, very fun stuff. I was like trying to like, what are the words? I can't even think of how to describe these things. But yeah, so he would make the furniture and I would paint it, and I think that would be really fun. I think furniture, like, weirdly is like a really fun medium to paint on.
Yeah, especially someone that's trying to, like, I don't know, add some spice into their house, or you know, like wherever they live, like maybe like it's always cool seeing like I get a lot of this on Instagram of like houses, and then like, oh, look at this like really cool monochrome, and yeah, it looks cool, but like what if you just like put something crazy right in the middle of it,
right?
Some crazy table, and that's it. Like that's the center of attention. Like that's what brings everything in.
Yeah. Well, and like some people, I don't know, I feel like even though a lot of people like to have stuff on their walls, not everyone wants to buy like someone's art for their walls, but like furniture, I feel like people always like to look at something like fun and unique, and like I don't know, I think it's really cool, like just to be like, oh yeah, look at this like weird funky table I got. Because I feel like I have that in my house, where I have like this coffee table that a friend of mine gave me that is all like bottle caps.
Ooh.
On the surface.
Yeah.
So like you just see all these different caps, and I think it's like really fun looking. And then pretty much whenever someone comes over, it's always like look at this funky
like
table.
A little more functional too.
Yeah, functional art.
That's what people like. People are like, oh, why would you spend so much on art? You know, you get that argument, like, well, because I appreciate it. That's why. Don't hate on it.
It's
like,
a little
I
more
bought
justifiable art, like, right? Like, because you're like, I can actually use this thing too.
Yeah.
So yeah, like something that's like, also like, I know that someone's gonna interact with that pretty much every day. Like something on the wall, it's like you'll maybe glance at it a couple times, but like sometimes there might be days where you just like never look and appreciate the art. But like if it's on the table, I mean, hopefully not, but
it could be lost in a storage unit somewhere.
That too. That's a weird thing to think about, because like I said like earlier, like it's out there, it's gone, like I'm not gonna ever see it again, or something like that. Like the possibility that someone was just like, I don't know what to do with this, put it in the storage unit, or like put it in the attic or the basement or whatever, you know, like
that'd be cool. Keep harping on NFTs, but like the NFT thing, like you could sell it to someone, and like you could see, like you could actually track where it goes and who it goes to. But you know, that's not. People want a fun story, you know, like, oh, it ended up here, and I gave it to my grandma, and then they gave it to their granddaughter, and then their cousin, and like how far has it gone? Like, oh yeah, and then my art ended up across the continent. Like, what the fuck? Like, whoa.
Yeah, it was actually. I did an art show probably like a couple years ago, and I sold like a record with like a collage on it to this guy, and he was like, hey, I just want you to know, like, this is gonna go with me to Egypt. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, your art's gonna be all the way like across the world. And I was like, that's so cool, thank you for telling me that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's not, I mean, you could just like send something. I mean, even just like, you know, send a song or something, like my art made it over there. And I don't even it's like like taking your ashes somewhere. Like I've never been there, and I don't think I'll ever make it there.
Oh,
But
yeah.
take my ashes to Japan or something, and then release them in the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that's where I want to live for eternity.
Yeah. I mean, maybe like all my art are like little Horcruxes. My spirits, my souls in all of them, and I'm just scattered to the wind all over the planet. Maybe.
That'd be pretty cool.
This is the way I'll like live on forever, is through my art. I'll just put that out there.
Live through right. No, you're right. You're definitely right, because you're like, well, I speak through it, and like at least in that moment of time, that's where my brain was. They're like, this is the best representation of my brain at the time. Just all on this piece of work.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think about that with tattoos too, where I'm like,
Yeah.
every time I get a tattoo, if I'm like, am I gonna regret this in the future? I always think back like, no, because I'll just be like, that was me at that time. That's what that's who I was, and that's okay. Like, so I at least do those. I talk myself through that whenever I get a tattoo, just to be like, it's okay. I like it now. Maybe I won't like it forever, but that will be fine.
Yeah. I recognize that the one on your right bicep.
This one.
Yeah.
It's the radish spirit from Spirited Away.
Is that the same? I remember there's like this collection of like art people love, like the Ponyo, like those artists, like the same studio.
Ghibli.
Yes, and they always like have like the best montages of people making food, or just honestly like it just looks good.
The animation is just mind blowing.
Yeah, it is.
They're amazing. Yeah, Studio Ghibli's great.
Ghibli.
Yeah. Miyazaki, who's like the director for most of those movies, is just like, what a genius. But Spirited Away was the first like, or I think, yeah, it was like the first.
That they did.
No, not that they did, but that I like watched and was like immediately like hooked. I think I rented a VHS from a Blockbuster.
When was this?
When I was like probably like 6 or 7 years old. Like I was very young. And that makes me sound really old. I'm not really old. I'm not really old at all. Defend myself. The VHSs were around for a long time.
It's okay. I still fuck with VHS.
All of the like Disney classics that are on VHS, I hear are worth a ton of money right now.
Oh.
So if you have
I might have some
classic VHS Disney films,
yeah,
keep a hold of them, or hawk them on eBay. I don't know.
I have like a VHS of like Star Wars, Phantom Menace, I think.
Ooh, you got the good one.
I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm just gonna keep it. It's kind of cool.
Isn't the Phantom Menace? That's the one where Anakin does the like, I hate sand. It's coarse and it gets everywhere.
I don't know, but people meme the shit out of it.
Yeah, they do, and I'm pretty sure it's from that.
Yeah, there's like crazy Twitter accounts where they're like, okay, I'm gonna post one frame of every move or of like of this one movie, and then they're like, okay, frame 1 out of like 10,300, and then they just go every day. They just post one frame, and like,
the dedication.
This is what you do, like.
Yeah, the dedication is something that I would think is just so, like, I don't know. I hate to say it, but it seems so meaningless. Like, you know, like, why does everyone need to see a frame of this film every single day? I mean, I guess that's why they have the following they do, is because they want to see.
It's like, oh, let's see how far this person goes, and it's easy. Like, you just follow them, and like, oh, no, I forgot about that.
That's their art, is frame by frame.
You know, I guess. Sure. I mean, if it was something like you said, like a Studio Ghibli, where like literally almost every frame is it's like all hand drawn. It looks amazing. Like,
yeah,
you're getting a piece of work every, at least every day on your timeline.
That's probably
it's like
true.
People,
yeah.
I just see like people that just post their photography. I'm like, wow, I can do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a majority of why I like social media, is just for that purpose alone, is just to like look at people's art and stuff.
Yeah, just appreciate it. Like, wow, they're doing something and I can't, and we both exist on the social media together.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And also, like, for me, like, photographers in particular, those are always great, like, source material. So, like, for me, like, you know, obviously I like collect a bunch of magazines and stuff, but sometimes I'll collaborate with like some friends who are photographers. I'll be like, can I use your photos? And then I'll get a bunch of their photos and I'll like cut them up and make some fun stuff. So like,
no, you're destroying it.
well, I hopefully they wouldn't give me their original copies.
No,
or
of
anything.
course. No, I think, yeah, it's cool. Like you said, you know, your friend that does that makes the furniture. Like, it's like let's see if these two meet up and like what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like the furniture thing, it's hard for the collaboration, I think, to go wrong, but it would be interesting too, like, to be like, okay, maybe our art styles don't really vibe together or something like that. Like,
Yeah,
it's fun to see like the trial and error of stuff.
what do you think you get the most recognized, like on what social media platform?
Probably Instagram. I mean, there have been times where like I've been like, I barely exist on the internet. My presence is not hugely is not huge. It's not strong. I'm very irregular poster, that kind of thing. But there are times where I've just been like recognized on the street where people have been like, Anna Banana, and I've been like, whoa, yeah,
That's weird.
that is me. This is a very small world, wild.
Yeah.
So like there's been like times like that have just been like very surreal and make me go like, whoa, social media is a strange beast, because it's weird to be recognized.
Yeah, and anybody can be recognized too. Like, it doesn't, like, you don't have to be like famous or anything. People just like, I think I've seen you before. Like, what do you mean? I got like 100 followers. Like,
yeah. Like, where have you seen me before? I was talking about this last night with my roommates about how like basically anyone can be a fan of anyone, like, with social media. So like, my roommates were like talking about, because they're all like musicians and artists and stuff too.
Chord gets stuck.
They're all like musicians and artists of whatever kind. And so they'll be like, yeah, I weirdly have like these weird like fan interactions with people, because they'll do like Twitch streaming or like some other thing. And I'm like, wow, that's so weird, because like, you know, we're just normal people, but there's still this like weird interaction with like social media that like anybody can be one of those like super fans, and like anybody can kind of be someone's like famous person, or just
even like the creative that's putting stuff out there is a fan of something else. Yeah,
that too. Like, even though I like know this person, Magsy, big fan of their work.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's kind of weird to think that like, you know, I don't know, I'm a fan of these like people who like are just normal people, right? Like, they don't really have like celebrity or anything like that.
I think that's the difference. It's like you're considered a fan more, I guess, like the way you present yourself to somebody, like oh my god, I love your stuff, like let's take a picture, which is fine, which is cool. But then it's like there's like the community, and you feel more of like a part of it, like we're all together, you know. The fan feels like I guess it's just the problem with the terminology, like fans, like, oh, it's someone on the outside just only looking in. Like, no, like, feel like I'm really with this person that's putting stuff out there. Like, I feel, you know, and then the fans, I say, like, create their own community, and they're all cool with each other. Yeah. And you see that these very small pockets of the internet, like in some weird, you know, YouTube comments, and like people find each other, or like they just, like, you know, group of 5 or something, like even small, like group of 2 people, and like they just like both vibing with each other in the YouTube comments. I'm like, how, like you said, like it's just a very small thing, but they're there, and it's everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, a like funny experience my roommate was telling me about, because she's a musician. Was like someone at one of like, they play like shows, you know,
Mm-hmm.
around the IE, and like they were doing a show, and afterwards they were talking to some people, and someone came up and was like, I love Pork Boy is their artist name.
That's a cool name.
They're like, I love Pork Boy, like your music is so good, blah blah blah. And they were just kind of like stunned, because they were like, wow, you came out here to see me,
Yeah.
like you're a fan of my stuff. Like, it's so funny, because like, I don't know, I think there's like the expectation, at least for me, that I'm like, oh, if I do like a show somewhere, I'm going to be like someone's like first interaction, like this is my like first impression on someone,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe I'll like get a follower or whatever. But like there's like just like these weird random occasions where it's like, oh, you know of me like before this moment. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know,
Because
this like
in their heads,
version.
like they've almost built a relationship
Mhm.
with you before they met you. Like,
Yeah.
no, I already know you. We're already friends.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like, oh, I like what you do. I like it so much that I feel like I know you, and I like am connected to
Yeah.
that. So friends already.
I think I've heard this, like, no one who is striving to be successful was never surprised when they were successful. You know, if you're just doing it, you're doing your own thing, like, you knew at least at some level, you know, I guess you would be recognized for that thing you're working hard for.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Totally
so,
true.
yeah, you can't really predict everything that comes with it, but
Right. I mean, I guess there's like no like guarantee for sure,
Mhm.
but yeah, being like, I work really hard. Like something
Yeah.
should come out of it.
yeah, you're right. It's like the, you know, like idea of karma. Like, okay, well, look, I'm just doing good things. Like, I guess
Mhm.
something's got to come out of it.
I'm doing great things. Where are my fans? Yeah.
Even that, just like, oh, wow, I don't have a flat today.
Mm.
Must be good karma. I didn't trip on the stairs.
Mm-hmm. Must be.
I was
doing
thinking of
great.
like little things like that. I'm like, oh, I didn't. Yeah, like I didn't trip, or I didn't. I don't know. Just some of that stuff. I'd be like, what I do.
You're like, it could have been embarrassing, and it wasn't. Thanks, universe.
Exactly. I don't know. Like, thanks, Jesus. I don't know. He's looking out for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I guess that's like, do you remember? I can't remember even who made the song, but it's that like, it's like 5% luck, whatever, something power of will.
Yeah.
It just made me think of that, where it's like, karma might be in there too, like 2% karma.
Yeah. There's argument to, like, because I guess it depends if you look at karma like luck. It's like, you know, some people would argue like there's no such thing as luck. It's only like what you're putting in is everything you'll put out.
Mm-hmm.
Is everything that'll come out of it. Or like, obviously, if you're not putting anything in,
Yeah, you're not gonna get
then
anything
for
out of it.
sure nothing's coming out. Like, nothing's coming out of it. Like,
Yeah.
someone would be like, no luck. You did this all yourself. And I think that's I guess someone who has, like, I guess that imposter syndrome is feeling that. They need to be reminded of that. Like, no, it wasn't luck. Like, you really did it.
Yeah, you did the work, and it shows.
Yeah.
Obviously in the results.
Don't play yourself.
Yeah. Although I do think like maybe like for me, I would look at like karma as like, oh, like, yeah, I put in the work, and then luckily, like karmically, I guess, like some opportunities like arose that I wasn't expecting. Like I think maybe that's like what I would look for, and like how karma is like manifesting in my life. Like, oh yeah, I was like, I worked really hard. I did it in a way that was like loving and caring and empathetic and all of those nice adjectives. And like, yeah, that will like, you know, give me the leg up that like if I had bad karma, if I was doing like horrible things and being like
Yeah.
mean and just like a crummy person.
Yeah, which is, I think, at least at like baseline, like karma, like call it karma and just call it cause and effect. But that's really easy to understand. Like, I do good things, you know.
Good things should happen. I mean, there are some people with just terrible karma though, where it's like they
Yeah.
could not catch a break if they tried.
Yeah.
But then
I guess it's like more of like a relationship. I guess something that's like tangible. Like, yeah, I'm putting all my love out here. So therefore, for the most part, I don't think they'll, I guess, go and cheat. I guess in like a romantic relationship, like,
yeah,
for the most part, they don't.
yeah.
Unless they do, I don't know the statistics.
I don't know if it's that good. But yeah, I mean, that's the trouble with karma, right? Is like it's kind of unpredictable thing. Like you could be going good for a while, and then all of a sudden it's just not going good anymore. Same parallel with relationships.
I did good things. I found a penny on the ground.
Ooh. Well, you know the like penny thing of like it has to be like heads up, right?
Or else it's bad luck.
Yeah. So if you see a penny on the ground and it's
I'm still picking it up.
No,
I'm still picking it up. I'm picking up the penny.
Well, okay, see, this is where like your karma comes into play, right? So like you see the penny, it's not heads up.
Okay.
So you flip that penny and you give that good luck to someone else. And then karmically, it should come back around that you are also lucky because you did kind of like a selfless thing by flipping the penny.
Oh, I never thought about that. Then maybe my next time in the parking lot, I might find a heads up quarter.
Oh.
That's how it comes back.
Yeah, there you go. You flip the penny heads up only for the future quarter that's coming to you.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Hear that? Flip the upside down pennies heads up.
Yes.
Good stuff will come back to you.
Yes.
I remember one time I found like a $100 bill, 50, I don't know. Found money on the ground, and when I picked it up, it was folded in a way to look like it was a real dollar. It would look like real money, but it was really just advertisement for I don't remember what.
Oh, I hate that stuff.
I was like, wow. I was like, whoa, I've never seen this before. I'm like, this whoever did this is genius. It's probably been done before, but like I was just so like. So I was so amazed by someone just did it. I'm like, who wouldn't pick this up?
Yeah, I mean that's how they get you. Is they're like, they're gonna make it look as real as possible, and you're gonna be like, what an ad for insurance.
For your car's extended warranty.
Yeah, I wanted the dollar.
I think I picked it up and then I just like kept it. I'm like, I'm gonna put it somewhere to actually like trick somebody. Probably like
wow,
like some friends that I know.
Yeah.
Like, oh look, $1.
Or the next time someone asks you for $1, you just have to be like, oh yeah, sure thing. Hand it to them, walk away, and then when they come back to you and they're just like, this is not $1, you're like, sorry. Joke's on you.
It's like yeah, it's people that are just they'll put like they'll fold to tip servers at a restaurant, and then like they'll fold the money so it looks like it's more. Like, okay, that's not even nice. That's
no,
fucked up.
Yeah, that's horrible. As someone who has worked in restaurants, don't do that. That's heartless. Why would you play with someone like that? Especially when you're like, if you're working at a restaurant, the tips are like, that's the thing.
Yeah. It's like, oh my gosh, I think, like, I really made it. I think, oh yeah. Before you're walking up to the table, you look at it. There's just a moment of I don't know, like, you feel good for a moment, and then it's taken away.
Cause it's like, oh, I did a good job. They loved me, and then I was like, oh, they didn't actually love me that much.
Oh yeah, they probably just do that to people like they just don't like you. Like, I didn't like this person that served me.
Uh,
Folding up the money.
I feel like it's like, I've never seen this in real life. It feels like a movie thing or like an internet thing, but where you've seen like people who've been like super dissatisfied with their like service or whatever, and they'll put like the tip money like under a flipped over cup or some shit. And I'm just like, how could you do that to someone? Like, it's such a like a harsh prank. You know, like you're already working probably like 8 hours, and you're just like, now I gotta deal with this.
Clean up the would be spilled water or drink or something, and it's like, and it's worse because it's like injury to insult because you spilled it, and like you kind of have to. It's funny. That's like more like a bar trick, I guess. It would be more funny to do it with your friend. Like, hey, look, I put this $20 bill in this cup. Try to get it without spilling any water. Just like super focused.
Yeah. I always love the like videos of people who are like, yeah, get the money and you can't touch it, and then someone just does a like, oh, like, would you grab that? And then they do, and then it's like,
yeah.
I feel like I would be one of those people where it's just like, I didn't see that coming from a mile away. I got fooled.
People just try to be crummy, hacky. I guess that would be.
Sometimes I wonder if those videos are real, though.
Oh,
too.
A lot of them are fake. I think seeing how much stuff is just uploaded to the internet, millions of hours, trillions. Like, how much is it? How much of it is it fake? Like fake prank videos. Unfortunately, that kind of went down the tube, I guess, a few years ago. Like, prank videos are never the same.
Well, because people were doing things that weren't pranks. They were just like,
yeah, you're right.
How do you feel if I ran up to you and punched you in the face? Great prank. And I'm like, that's not a prank, guys.
The only cool ones are like, oh, we destroyed my friend's car right in front of their face, and like, JK, Tesla pulls up.
Yeah, surprise new car. I'm like,
and then they cry tears of joy. I'm like, hell yeah.
That's so fun. Devastate them and then just make them the happiest person on the planet. Great. I get behind.
Support that.
Yeah. Or like, I've seen like pranks where like people have like dyed another person's like dog like a crazy color. Love that. Harmless, cute, great internet content.
Would you put costumes on your dog? Are you or a pet costume person?
There were a couple like Christmases where I would definitely dress my dog up in like an elf costume, because my dog is like a Great Dane mix, so he's huge. So it's like really cute to see like a gigantic dog in an elf costume. You know, like you're supposed to be cute and small. You could almost
be an elf.
Yeah. And then so I've definitely put some animals in costumes. And then my mom's dog, she's so cute. She's like this little white like poodle. And obviously I like to dye my hair a lot, so I dyed the little poodle's hair, so she had like purple ears for like a couple months one time. It was just really cute. Yeah, just the ears.
Yeah, it's funny to see like dogs with like long hair on their ears, and it looks more like pigtails.
I love it. It's so cute.
That's how my dog will be sometimes. Like, she's like a mixed poodle. But like the hair in her ear is pretty straight. So when she gets a cut, they'll put like little bows in her ear, take to the groomers. Like, she has pigtails.
Cutest thing ever. I love that. Anytime a dog comes back from a groomer, I expect them to either have a bow or like a bandana on them.
The bandana is that is key. If you're a groomer and you do the bandana thing, like, you're doing it right.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't even have to, like, the majority of the time it's just like, oh, it's just a piece of cloth they cut into a triangle. But I'm like, oh, you look like, it looks like, yeah. The people say you clean up well. I'll tell it to my dog, like, oh,
it's like
clean up well.
It's like a bandana is like the tuxedo for dogs.
Yeah.
Just put them in a bandana instantly. Just like, wow, you really put in the effort today, guy. Like, my goodness.
You're gonna get all the dogs on the block. I can feel it. I hope you could sniff it out.
Yeah, absolutely can.
My sister put she has a pug, and when her pug was still a puppy, she put him in a little waiter outfit with a bow tie.
Oh, that's so cute.
I was like, oh no. She was like, he is a distinguished gentleman.
Mm.
I was like, and he is that.
I love that. Just all of those TikTok videos with just people's pets where they're just like, look at the distinguished gentleman.
That's probably where she got it from.
Look
Now
at the
that
way he's sitting.
I'm not on TikTok, but like she'll always like mention some TikToks, and that makes sense.
It's good that you're not on TikTok. I get lost in that sauce. It is so good. TikTok has some just crazy videos.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. Yeah, it's like Chick-fil-A sauce, you know. Saying lost in the sauce, like I could eat that. Like I would buy, they sell bottles, and I would buy a bottle of that, and I would go spoonfuls of it.
Dang.
Maybe. Yeah, probably.
I feel like I don't have such a strong loyalty to the Chick-fil-A sauce. That's wild. I maybe feel that way about like Cane's.
Okay, there you go. We got this Cane's
sauce.
Yep.
I feel like they're probably fairly similar, like because they're both like chicken places.
Nah. Okay. I think for the most part, like if they're both chicken places, I think at that point it's just you deciding what sauce you like better. So if like, oh, I like the Cane's sauce. Okay, go to Cane's.
Yeah. Okay, go there.
They do have the good bread.
Oh my god, that bread though. If there was one, like, you know, like I for some reason did a horrible crime and I'm on death row, the Cane's bread
Be your last meal.
would be my last meal. I love that bread so much. It's
Olive Garden bread. Get the frick out of here.
Olive Garden doesn't even come into my mind.
Cane's
I'm not
bread.
even thinking about them. Cane's bread. That is the best bread. Also, you know, maybe it's just like the butteriness of it. Like if Olive Garden decided to make their breadsticks like mega buttery and delicious, maybe I'd be down. But also, I'm not a breadstick fan. I like a slice.
A slice.
Yeah.
Loaf of bread.
Mm-hmm. We could just spend this whole time talking about bread. I love.
Thinking, well, Olive Garden needs to like. I think that's a big staple. You know, like if you're arguing over restaurants, like Olive Garden. I think they need to come up with their own sauce. They lost the bread race. I think.
I mean they're like a triple threat, right? Because they do the soup, salad, and breadsticks.
So you're full before you even get the meal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck your Olive Garden.
I think that is a thing though, that like you can make that basically your meal.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like you just have that unlimited.
I'll take the rest to go.
Oh yeah, I'm filling up on salad and breadsticks now, and then I'm having my actual Olive Garden meal later, saving that. So you can do like 2 in 1.
What is that tattoo on your
This one?
left tricep?
This was actually funny enough, Magsy's partner, Cade, is also a tattoo artist.
Mm-hmm.
And so I reached out to him because actually I think that's how I met Magsy, is because I met Cade first.
Oh, I think he's
Oh yeah, Cade Burger
right
Cow.
there in the bio. Little ring.
Oh my god.
Black hair. How cute.
Fiance. But yeah,
Ooh.
also really cool tattoo artist, and
Whoa.
yeah, does some like crazy stuff. Yeah, I had done a collage of like a bunch of different skulls and animal skulls, and I was like, oh, Cade, like I love your style, like the whatever aesthetic he has is really cool.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I want your style, but I want you to tattoo like my collage design. Mm-hmm. So we collaborated and came up with this one. And like it was funny because he was like, well, I really
Just so they can see it.
Oh yeah. I was like, so he did the design of it, and basically like everything is pretty much almost exact to the collage, except for he added these other like
it came from a collage.
yeah Yeah, so I like designed
Oh,
it,
okay.
and then I just
Yeah.
had
Oh,
Cade
that's
do it. And so he added like these other arms. And I think actually I want to do something in the future with like, I don't know, like cactuses and like flowers and stuff, just to like make it a little less like lonely. I don't know.
I think that's cool because usually it's like, oh, I'm a really good artist. Maybe you can just tattoo my art or something like that, or they have a friend, or but like that's a first.
Yeah, it was really cool that like he was very open to the idea, because when I first was thinking about it, I was like, I don't know if this is really gonna like work. Like I don't know if it'll like translate well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just like reached out to him and was like, hey, I got this image. Check it out. What do you think? Can you make that into a thing? And yeah, very quickly came up with this. And
I always think like, do tattoo artists like when they're younger, they're like, I want to be a tattoo artist. So it's usually like really good at drawing, and then I don't know, or is it like they give them like someone just hands them a tattoo gun? They're like, yeah, just do something. You're a good artist. Like, okay, like I don't know if this is gonna work.
that would
like,
be, that's so scary if someone were to actually do that. If they were like, you're a good artist, I'm sure, like paper, skin, what's the difference?
But I feel like that's the majority of how it happens.
I mean, it's definitely like a lot of times where it'll be like someone who's just like an artist, and they're like, wow, you're really good. Just, put a tattoo gun in your hand and see how that goes.
Yeah.
And actually, I think when I got this tattoo, when I was talking to Cade, he was like telling me a little bit about like how he started tattooing, and he was telling me like basically when he was in like high school and stuff, he would do like stick and pokes and shit for his friends.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah.
Which I actually have, like, I did that one on myself.
Stick and poke?
Yeah. Just like, so in college when I was doing my like final thesis, I did it on Howl, the poem by Allen Ginsberg. And so I was like, what do I do to commemorate this this moment?
Huzzah.
Yeah. Put a little tattoo on it. And so yeah, it was telling me that basically the way he got started was just like stick and poke stuff, which I think is really cool. Like it's probably the like most like easy DIY way that you can start tattooing when you're really young, because he was saying high school, so I'm imagining he's like 16 or 17.
What friend did you convince? It's like, look, let me show you the smiley face I did on me. Let me take it up a notch. I don't know what. Like, let me try this on you.
I would hope that maybe now as like a adult professional, he'd be like, hey friend, do you remember when I gave you that stick and poke in high school? Do you want me to like do something about that, or
oh, that would be cool.
Or do we like it? Because sometimes there are like some like stick and poke tattoos where I've like been like, this is probably not the best execution, but overall what it is, like, I'm like, that's a good tattoo, like that's fun. Because there have been some where I've just been like, even some that I've done for friends where I've been like, probably wasn't like
stick and pokes to your or you've done to your friends.
Yeah, where I've been like, oh, these probably don't look the best, like the line's not like the straightest or whatever, but it kind of gives it character. It kind of makes it look a little.
It's authentic.
Yeah, or like what's that like way that a lot of people describe like clothes or like stuff that's like made by people, rustic or like authentic. That's more my tattoo style. And yeah, it doesn't look like the cleanest. Like, it's not gonna look like, the lines on this are so nice and like so thin and straight and good looking. I would never be able to accomplish that doing a stick and poke. Like, even on these, like, the L is, like, kind of wonky, and, like, the O, like, isn't even, like, a full circle. Like, there's parts where it, like, dips in. Like, you know, like, it's funny looking a little bit, but I kind of think it gives it character, so.
I think that's the one equalizer. Circles. Any art, dude.
Everybody hates a circle.
Show me someone that does good circles.
If they do if they can like freehand draw a nice circle.
I don't know. Like we need to like.
They're a modern Da Vinci or something. Like it's crazy.
There's some sort of niche job just for you. Someone that does good circles, wherever you may be.
Yeah, I mean, if you need someone to draw a nice oblong shape, I could do that.
Oblong.
Oblong is like almost like ovalish looking.
Oblong, but it's not oval.
No, because it's like a messed up circle.
Oh. Okay.
Way to make me explain the joke.
I know. I don't know. I don't know much. I think I missed that day in first grade. I probably wasn't there.
Gotta know your shapes and your colors. The ABCs.
Yeah.
How many days did you miss?
I think I have that. I don't know. You're just gonna keep doing art like forever, rest of your life? Is that the goal? Is that the plan?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of what I do basically like with like selling stuff is basically to just like keep it going, right? So like I have like my normal day job junk that pays all my bills and stuff, which also my normal day job is really cool too. I work at a skate shop, so yeah. So like it almost feels like an art.
Ooh. Do some boards. I mean,
that would actually be really fun. They wouldn't be like skateable anymore, but they would definitely be something you could like hang up in your house.
Yeah, my uncle has some skateboards that he just has them hung up.
Yeah,
it's a skater thing.
Right, yeah, and like that's the thing. Like people do that, and I'm thinking like that would maybe be something I'd want to do in the future. Since I work at a skate shop, like I obviously just have access.
That would be cool.
But other than that, I do my like day job junk to pay my bills, and then I sell the art that I make to kind of be a self-sustaining like thing where it's like, okay, I sell the art, I can now buy more supplies.
Paint isn't cheap.
Oh my god, paint is not cheap at all.
Some primo acrylic
is expensive. And if you want like so there are like fun paint that I have that's like it'll have like iridescent bits and stuff in it. That stuff is so expensive. Like it's stupid just to get like a quart of paint with like some kind of like pearlized stuff going on. It's just like I have to like save a paycheck or something.
What's iridescent?
So like it'll be like shiny or like kind of have like like you ever see like when like stuff like in the light it'll like look kind of rainbow like depending on how it hits the light. Yeah, that's usually like the iridescent stuff. Paint's really expensive. Canvas is really expensive. That's a lot of times why I do like these kind of like wood pieces or like
that's cool.
The records, because like I can pick up like 10 records in a thrift store that like otherwise would probably never be used for anything, and make them into pieces of art. Although sometimes I worry that like maybe I'll like find an album like in a thrift that's like means nothing to me, but someone else would be like, oh my god, you painted on that, you found this album and you painted on it. It's never happened to me yet, but
that's true.
but it's just something I think about sometimes, because there was actually this one time some guy was like fairly upset that I would cut up Playboy magazines, because a lot of the ones that I use are like kind of vintage, like 70s and 80s Playboy magazines. So at this point,
those go for sale on eBay.
Yeah, they can
minted first edition,
kind
whatever.
Of collector stuff. And so like they were like very upset that I was like, you're destroying these magazines. And I'm just like, it's fine. Like I don't understand why you're getting so upset. Like I don't know. Like you should have bought the magazines then. Like
I could sell you.
Yeah. Do you want some of the magazines I have?
I could sell some of the magazine back to you if that's what you want.
I mean, some of them are cut up, and I'm sorry. Like there's one Playboy magazine that I haven't had the heart to cut up because it is the edition that Drew Barrymore is in. And I really like Drew Barrymore, so I was like, I kind of want to keep this intact. Like, I don't really want to use it. So
frame that.
Yeah, well, so what I was thinking, I was like, maybe I should try and find like another copy, so that way I could have one copy that I like, you know, is kind of like a keepsake, and then another copy that I'm like totally fine cutting up. Because that's another thing I think about. Like, sometimes when I cut stuff up, I'm like, wow, I don't have another version of that, you know? Or like if there's like 2 images on either side of a piece of paper, like either side of the magazine page, that I'm like, I love both of these pictures. I have to choose
decide.
one. I have to choose one because the other one, like, no matter how I cut this, I'm gonna like cut the head off the other, or like I'm gonna cut something in half, and it's like, it makes me like so sad. Sometimes I wish I had like a scanner or something that I could just make copies of stuff, but
like it's like you said, it's like one of a kind almost.
Yeah, there is that.
But like sometimes you're like, I have a lot of inspiration from this side, but just as equally as the other side. Like, yeah, I guess making that decision.
it gets really tough. Like sometimes there have been times where I'll be like, looks like I just can't use this page right now because I can't decide.
Because like this, right? This is the same person. Like if okay, like okay, they're modeling. Like most likely, they would probably be on a spread or on like the same page. It's like, well, I like both of their pictures.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is like, I'm sure like, you know, if like I was able to like peel this up and look at the other side, there was probably something on the other side of that page that I was like,
probably pretty good.
I wish I got that. My like, a weird thing that brings me so much joy sometimes is when I'll be flipping through a magazine, I'll find something I really like, and then on the other side, it's just articles, and I'm just like, yes. Yes, I don't have to cut through any other pictures.
Thank you, columnists.
Yeah.
And article writers.
Yeah, I'm not gonna read it, but thank you for writing it.
There's just less and less text now. It's getting harder.
Yeah, magazines these days, you know.
No, but it's true. I think it's good though, because a lot of the stuff, like tangible, like newspapers, magazines, like other than that guy that got really upset at Playboy, I guess it's understandable. But yeah, I don't grab the stack in your doctor's office. I don't think they'll really care. Probably from like the early 2000s or something.
Right, yeah. Some early 2000s, like Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
I feel like that's always in a doctor's office. Also like a home and garden magazine, you know? That's where I get like a lot of like I do a lot of like flowers and like butterflies and like just like nature stuff, and I always find like really fun pictures in like home and garden magazines.
Would you subscribe to a magazine, or would you always want to just go out and like just find like old magazines?
Yeah, I would never like I would never subscribe to a magazine. No, I just like there's no real point, because like majority of the time I can pretty much go into any thrift store and there's going to be like a giant stack of National Geographic or graphic magazines. There's going to be a giant stack of like home and garden magazines. Like that, weirdly, those are the things that people seem to just give away in like giant chunks, which is crazy, because like I don't know why you have like so many National Geographics. Why is everyone donating them?
They were subscribed at some point.
Yeah. So I also do that, which that's another thing that some people get mad about, because National Geographics are also like collector magazines.
You're messing with collectors. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm sure National Geographic has a museum of every issue, Times, Playboy. Like,
oh yeah, they've all got a giant archive. Like, that's the thing that like I get for like someone like personally being like, man, I would have wanted to like have that if they're like the collector. But sometimes there are people who are just like, on behalf of the collector, I am upset. And I'm just like,
it's like, you know the collector, you know, like, you have National Geographic, you have the CEO.
Well, like this guy who's like upset at me for cutting up Playboy magazines. I'm like, are you collecting these Playboys? Is this why you're upset? Like, am I taking out of your stock or something? Like,
just stock. Yeah. But I think at that point it's like free for all. I just got to the art before you did, man.
Yeah, it's not my fault.
You know?
Um, I, I don't know. Also, like, in regards at least to the like Playboys, I got like a giant, like, one of those like like
Oh, so you have a-
storage bins. I have a giant storage bin of magazines because this like person on OfferUp was just like, I got a closet full of these magazines.
Hell yeah.
I don't want them anymore. And I'm like, okay. And I think that was like a storage bin of magazines for like $20 or something like that.
Have you even made a dent?
No. I don't even think I've looked at a majority of those magazines because it's just so many. Like, it's so dense.
Yeah, you don't need to subscribe. You have more than enough to work with.
No, I have tons of material. And, like, that's the funny thing, too, because, like, it's kind of, it's, like, kind of a dangerous, like, thing that I'm doing because I feel like I'm just collecting, like, tons and tons and tons of material, and eventually I'm going to be like one of those hoarders where it's just like floor to ceiling magazines. They could like avalanche fall on you at any time kind of deal. Like, that's going to be my future, unless I like get like a really organized studio, which hopefully that would also be something I would be thinking about.
Would it like, if you had a studio, would it just be you, or like maybe like have other people that do like similar work, like painting and whatnot?
It would be cool if there were more than just me. I feel like even though when I paint, a majority of the time I'm like kind of in my own like space or whatever. Just being able to do art with other people is so fun. Like, there have been times where I've just like, come over to my house, we'll make some art together, we'll hang out, and that's like such an ideal way to spend my time. It's just like, oh yeah, me and a friend just chilling.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I would love, and that I feel like that would be what that would feel like. It was just like, oh yeah, me and my friends just hanging out, making art. Although I guess like if there were like I don't know, if there were someone that like, okay, we have very different styles of art. You're on that side of the room, I'm on this side of the room. We're doing our own thing. That would be also cool, I guess.
Yeah, I see it like like maybe it's like I guess the roommate thing, like don't be roommates with your friends.
All of my roommates are my friends.
Exactly. Like it's not hard and set rule, but like if there's someone that does very similar work to you, like, are you competing? Like no, let's I would see it like like the playful thing that you're talking about, like let's do art together, like look at this piece that I found in the magazine. Like, damn. I hope, like, I just hope it comes out great. Like, that's all I hope. Like, I'm not gonna say like, damn, I wish I had it first. I hope you fuck it up. like no, like I know you're gonna make something great out of it.
Yeah.
Just encouraging each other. Yeah. I mean, that would be like you said, like the ideal just like artist studio.
Yeah, I mean it would be ideally like a community space. Like, I feel like that's all that is like you're just like hanging out with your community, making art, building connections, doing the thing. Like, that is like, that would be the dream. Like, I would love that. That would make me feel very I don't know, I don't want to say like I've made it, but like that would feel like I've made it. Like, oh, I've got a studio, I've got this community, we're all making art. Like,
yeah, it's something to romanticize, a goal, I guess, to have in mind that I guess you keep looking to. And when you try it, at least you tried it, like, at least I did the thing, like, I could always, I don't know, find some new people. I don't know.
I mean, hopefully it would work.
It's just like I said, it's just something to strive for that you're like.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not looking for like something that's gonna like last forever. Like, that I think would be like kind of like a naive thing to go into, because it's like, it's cool to like build all these connections and create like community, but things are always constantly changing, and I think like being open to that is also really cool. Like, even my own art style like changing. Like, I like what I'm doing now, and I feel like I have like a strong like voice in my art, but I'd totally be like open to like, oh, like one day I'm just like, I don't know, experimenting with something and I find out like, oh, actually maybe working with clay is my thing. I don't know. Or maybe I'm like, actually, you know what, I want to do fashion. Maybe that's my thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I like that idea of like, you never know. Maybe not.
Yeah, well, because to me, like, I think like if someone's an artist, like it's kind of like like intrinsic to their being, you know? So like no matter what you're doing, you're gonna bring some sense of like art to that. So like like if I weren't painting, like I still know that I would be doing something like artful.
Yeah, it feel it's it's more meaningful in whatever you're doing and whatever you're putting it on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I think like there's like so many different ways to make art, and there's so many different like modes of art, like that. Yeah, the possibilities are kind of endless. Like I know that like even if I'm not doing this, I'm going to be making art in some way. Like there's just no way around it, I think.
I like that. You're set.
Yeah. I'm set in my ways, at least in that aspect. Like,
and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's great.
Yeah.
Listen, Anna, I love what you're doing. This has been amazing. Would you like to plug anything? Your social media, Anna Banana.
Yeah.
Twitter, TikTok, anything like that.
Oh yeah. I mean, both Instagram and TikTok, which I think is where I like post the most stuff, is Anna Banana, spelt all funky, an.uh.ban.uh. I think.
Oh yeah, I did ask you when I first DM'd you. I was like, UH at the end.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah. It's funny because like, so the way that I like came about that was basically just some friends like over pronouncing my name and just being like, Anna. And I was like, that's hilarious. I love it. So yeah, Anna is just like now my thing. Like I feel like even sometimes I'll like sign, like when someone like buys some of my art or like stickers, I'll just be like, ANUH, that's me. Even though it's not me. But yeah, Anna Banana, TikTok, Instagram. Anyone that I've mentioned, you should also check out because all the people I've mentioned have been really cool. Yeah. What else? That's all I have to plug. Actually, never mind.
Final thoughts. Final words.
Hopefully not my final words.
Famous last words.
Yeah. No. Thank you for having me on. It was fun to chit chat. And yeah, I feel like I don't really get the opportunity to just like sit down and talk about my art and like how I do it, why I do it.
Yeah, I was excited because I'm like looking for someone who like just does art.
And here it is.
I'm glad this happened.
Yeah, me
Thank
too.
you.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
All right. See you guys later.
Bye.